Well, we're coming to the end of our programme today, or at least the last 10 minutes of our programme, and I'm joined by the award-winning choreographer, Olivier Dubois, who is the director of the National Choreography Centre of Roubaix, Nord-Pas-de-Calais. That's here in northern France. But more topically, he's choreographing a modern take on the classic musical The Sound of Music at the Théatre Nanterre Amandiers, just outside of Paris. And it's a show that's a far cry from the famous 1960s film with Julie Andrews that I'm sure everyone has seen at one stage in their life. Olivier, you're very welcome to the programme.
Hello.
Now, I haven't had a chance to see the show yet as it opens in two days' time here, but I do know that this is a glitsy musical directed by Yan Duyvendak, I hope I pronounced his name right, and written by Christophe Fiat. But this has no views of the Matterhorn nor men in Leiderhosen. Is this really The Sound of Music?
Absolutely not.
No. So what is the inspiration of this?
Well, for sure, inspiration is coming from musicals, but I would say more in the aspect that it's a kind of glittery moment, a completely it's kind of an escape of reality. In this way, yes, it's absolutely a musical. Make you dream, make you forget, even when times are going very in a bad way.
That's sure. I mean, we can all look back. Musicals historically came in the wake of the Wall Street crash of 1929, and then, of course, for the public at large, musicals were an escape from the Great Depression. It was just something to take their mind off the drudgery of the economic collapse. Now, how does this musical translate into 2015? I mean, we've all been through the wars now, literally for the last 5-6 years.
Well, honestly, it doesn't. It's absolutely not a musical in a way. It's using all the tools, all the format of it. Like the form is here, but it's really using all the tools to really enlightening those problems. Okay, we're facing now, like say, social, financial, economical, climate crisis. So that's also the topic of Yan Duyvendak, using all of this, putting all of this inside of the performance of Sound of Music, and try and make a kind of a decor of as a musical. And it's what is very tricky in this piece is that, like, forcing the enlightening. At the moment, you cannot see anymore because it's so bright, so strong that it makes you blind. So I like very much this in between line, and between make it shiny and absolutely blinding
and glittery. Exactly, it's very in your face. Now, just tell me, Olivier, you just played in Marseille. In the south of France, and how was it received down there? Were people surprised? Were they expecting something else?
Definitely, in a way, I hope they were surprised and expecting something else. It's always good that you don't bring them exactly what you want to go. But it's really also in terms of the rhythm. The rhythm of the piece is really strange. It's on stage, out on the side of the stage. It's coming from everywhere, and it's definitely with the audience liked it very much. It has apparently a nice success. But
who were your audience exactly? I mean, what kind of demographic was it? A niche audience? Was it a very grand public, as we say in French? Was it a?
I won't say it's grand public now. I hope it will become. It's much more regarding also to the. Now we know. You make a production with partners, and those partners, they also will present work, and those partners are mainly like for des Amandiers Nanterre, or like we did in Marseille, or Théâtre in Lausanne, or that's really like more, I would say, kind of very excellent, kind of very specific work, very precise, it can be an approach of intellectual approach of art stuff, but it's just a starting point now, and I hope it will go bigger and bigger.
So basically you're hoping that you get the ball rolling and it'll snowball, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe one also of the good thing is, like, okay, you have the approach of sound music, the kind of the trick that can welcome everybody, but also inside the performance, the dancers, you have a kind of a fixed and permanent dancers, but also invitation made to dancers from the city where we perform, and it's also a way to open more the audience to allow them to come.
Now, you did mention before, and we'll pick up on that, that there's a strong environmental message behind this musical. I mean, and also you were saying that there's about economic times, etc., the modern times that we're living in. But, you know, just from what I've seen of the images of the production when it went on in Marseille, there are subliminal messages, or are they not subliminal? There are messages that are on the screen in the background, being displayed on the screen. What exactly are these messages? I couldn't really see it from the screen, but I mean, what exactly are you saying with the rolling messages that are coming on the screen?
Well, the text is from Christophe Fiat, and absolutely not subliminal.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's in your face.
Definitely clear.
It's when you look at the image, you see. When you look at the image on the
image
screen.
is. So it's strange because regarding especially from my side dance part, it's much more there where the subliminal part is more than the text is really clear, and also the voice of the text coming from Yan is going on stage and also taking position at that time. So it's really a concrete vision of the world. It's like concrete moment, but in a way also this idea that okay, we are. The last musician on the Titanic, so you know, icy water is washing around and our knees, and so we have to go on because it's the only thing that we know. We learned and they know how to do, so let's go on till the end. But we know what's going to happen. We know what happened exactly, but we have to go on with this because that's the only thing that we know how to do.
Now, Olivier, you have often performed solo. I mean, you're also won many awards as well, but you've worked less in chorus. I mean, do you like designing chorus like this production, or is chorus your thing? I mean,
it is my
You prefer to be in chorus than solo.
Oh, I mean, I perform for myself, and as a performer, I was a lot solo. But regarding my work, just Olivier Dubois' work, it's really mainly for group chorus dance. I really like the main piece is called Tragedy, and it's like 18 dancers, and I really enjoy this, and that's also why because Yan Duyvendak asked me to be part of this project for that, because I love working with many people on stage and
in this production of The Sound of Music, how many people are there in the whole thing?
Really, it's really depending. You have like 12 that we call the B-Ways, the Broadway dancers, but it's not mainly from Germany. But those are the permanent one, and we had 26 in Geneva for the premiere. After in Marseille, there were, I think, 14 or 16, and now they are 36 for Paris. Okay. So it's every time changing regarding to the partner, the schools.
It's according to basically where you're playing as well. Yeah, to see it.
Yeah.
Now, where are these participants mainly from? Where are these actors, these dancers from? Are they mainly from France? Are they from...
For the permanent one, we call the one the Broadways, that really are coming from the Universal Music one. It was quite difficult for them, but everybody is in a difficult situation, even for the one where contemporary world, dance world, and back to this, it's like, what is this? And everybody is lost, and that's also really important for the project. But the 12 permanent coming from mainly Hamburg, in Germany, where you have a very strong musical place, and the rest is really Geneva. We work with the Ballet Junior of Genève, in the National Ballet of Marseille in Marseille. It would be here in Paris with the Conservatoire of Paris, National Conservatory, and also with AID, with also another school, much more jazz musical also school, so it's very a mix, and
it's a fluid project basically, you can say, going from town to town.
Yes.
Now let's take a look at the Ballet du Nord. Can you tell me about that?
Well, I'm the director.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, the ballet. I mean, what is your mission of setting up the Ballet du Nord or directing the Ballet du Nord? What is your mission, and how come it's different to other
okay, so if I explain, try and make it very clear and short, it's like you have 19 places like this in France, made in 1983, kind of out of Paris to put some culture in regions. So you have like also for dramatic center, as Nanterre, for example, is one for theater. So those 19 are made are built for dance, and so those places the direction is given to an artist to create, to support also creation of other artists, also programmation of performance, and absolutely you have to work on develop a kind of pedagogy of teaching, open and put culture inside everybody's head. But also the main the goal of it, the reason why is that it helps the director to create more. So this one is in Roubaix. It's a very big one. It's a big house, but what is really interesting. It's placed in the poorest city in France, Roubaix.
Well, on that point, it was like, you know, the north of France, Pas de Calais, the old coal mining areas.
Yeah.
How popular is ballet in something that is traditionally a very working class area?
Yeah,
and we're looking at
because this ballet has been created in 1983 and it was called Ballet du Nord. And during 10 years, Karen Carson, American lady choreographer, she was there, and she changed, and she wanted to get rid of the name of Ballet du Nord and only by his label. The label is Centre Choreographique National Choreographic Center. And when I arrive, I ask people, okay, trying to test a bit the taxis, the people in the streets, say, okay, can I go to the Centre Choreographique? And nobody knew where it was. And I say, okay, where's Ballet du Nord? Oh! They all knew this, and then at the moment after discussing with people, they would say, "Okay, we have two kind of pride in Roubaix: bicycle because of the famous race between Paris and Roubaix, and Ballet du Nord because it's very, very important. It's one of the really phare, I don't know what in English, that is very important in the city, and it's the only the only institution who is traveling around the world.
Well, thank you very much. I hope there are some Billy Elliots that are coming out of the woodwork there. But anyway, look, Olivier Dubois, thank you very much for being with us on the program here today.